Okay, so uh, we're going deep today on something pretty wild.
Well, yeah.
It's how things can get a little heated between the U.S. and Canada over
Right.
trade and all that.
Yeah.
Well, imagine this.
Okay.
President Trump suggesting that Canada should just become
Oh, wow.
like the 51st state,
The 51st state.
like just straight up absorb them.
Oh,
We're unpacking this article from the National Post today,
okay.
and foreign policy experts are weighing in.
I bet.
And let's just say they're not exactly thrilled.
No, I wouldn't imagine so.
Not thrilled at all.
That's a big change.
Huge, right?
Yeah. So what's the what's the rationale?
So the article kind of dives into like Trump's apparent rationale,
okay.
and it's pretty interesting.
Lead on me.
He kind of paints this picture of Canada
Okay.
as like an economic satellite
Oh, wow.
and a storehouse of resources
Okay.
for the U.S.
Interesting.
So
The economic saddle.
Yeah.
Sounds
It's
like
taking all their stuff.
it sounds like Star Wars or something.
Right.
But what does that even mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what does that even mean in practical terms?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
One expert, Jack Cunningham from the University of Toronto,
Okay.
he doesn't mince words.
Okay.
He calls Trump an ignoramus
Oh my goodness.
for even suggesting this,
Wow.
arguing that like it shows a complete lack of understanding
Okay.
of the economics and history.
Okay, hold on. Let's unpack that a little.
Okay.
So ignoramus.
Yeah.
Strong word.
It's a strong word for sure.
But why is this idea so off base?
Yeah.
From like an economic standpoint.
Well, for starters, the U.S.-Canada relationship is already super intertwined.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We've got supply chains,
totally
shared industries.
Yeah.
We have agreements like NAFTA,
Right.
even with the renegotiation,
Exactly.
turning Canada into a state.
Wouldn't magically create some economic utopia for the U.S.?
No, I don't think so.
It could actually disrupt a lot of systems.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And lead to unforeseen consequences.
Yeah, you can't just like take
Right.
their resources. It's about how they're managed and traded.
Exactly.
And the economies are already connected.
100%. And that brings us to the historical context.
Okay.
Canadian historian Craig Baird
Okay.
highlights this like sense of betrayal that Canadians feel with this rhetoric.
It's got to be rough.
It undermines a long history of cooperation,
Yeah.
particularly the creation of that 8,000-kilometer undefended border.
Oh, wow.
He even compares it to like throwing away 200 years of progress.
Wow. So it's not just about like present day economics.
Yeah.
It's about like undermining decades, centuries of trust and working together.
Exactly.
Wow.
And what's especially concerning is this rhetoric isn't confined to economic matters.
Oh, really?
Baird points out that Trump has also made comments about claiming the Great Lakes for the U.S.
Oh, wow.
and redrawing the border.
Now that's where things get really unsettling. Like historically, have there been other instances of like a powerful country trying to redraw borders with a long-standing ally?
It's definitely there are definitely historical parallels.
Okay.
But most of them involve like conquest or war.
Right.
Not a seemingly out of the blue suggestion between like friendly nations.
It seems so out of nowhere.
This is really unusual, and that raises some serious questions.
Like what?
Like, is this just political posturing?
Well, okay.
Or is this indicative of a larger shift in U.S. foreign policy towards a more aggressive, unilateral approach?
It makes you wonder, like, what the long-term implications could be.
Totally.
If these kinds of statements become actual policy.
Right.
How would that reshape the global landscape?
Exactly. And that's what makes this deep dive so important.
Yeah.
It's not just about Canada becoming a U.S. state.
Right.
It's about understanding what this rhetoric reveals about the current political climate and the potential consequences that it could have, not just for Canada, but for the whole idea of international relations.
Right, the whole world.
Exactly.
Wow, what a deep dive.
That was a deep one.